Hello everyone, welcome to this video lesson. I am Chidumin Namdi. In this video lesson, we will learn how to untrack angular signals. Now let's begin. See here we have a basic component that renders a counter and the double of it. So whatever that is rendered here, this will render the double of it. Now let's look at our component. Now the counter value is held inside a signal with an initial value of 0. Now we have a double counter that displays the double of the value here. Now see, it's created using the computed function. So this double counter is a read-only value. Now we have an increment that is called when the button increment is clicked. So you see, so it updates the counter signal with an increment of 1 using the correct counter value. Now this double counter calls a derivation function, and now look at inside it gets the counter signal so as to get the double of it. So by doing this counter is now a dependent on the double counter, so that whenever this counter is updated, now Angular will invalidate the cache of this double counter, and on the next call of it will return a new value. So now, like we said, the double counter tracks the counter signal, but we want in such a case that we don't want this double counter to track this counter signal. Like we want it so that whenever this counter is updated, the double counter will not be recomputed at all. It will not be recomputed or invalidated. It will still remain its constant value. Now to do it, we use the untracked function. The untracked function is a function inside the Angular/com module. So we'll call the untracked function and pass in this dot counter statement inside it. This is how we'll do it. We'll first remove this, then call the untracked function like this. It will work. Now what happens is that this untracked will return the value inside this counter signal, then multiply it by 2 and then return it. So this works. But after that, double counter will no longer track this counter signal. So even if we click on the increment button and it updates the counter, the value of this double counter will not be recomputed. Its value will always be the initial value when its derivation function was run. So now let's see it. Now you see, when we click the increment, only this will update. This will no longer update because double counter is no longer tracking the counter. So you see, it is no longer tracking the counter. This is 0 because it was the initial value given to read here, returned to read here. So after that, whenever the counter updates, it no longer recomputes. So its value remains 0. Let's say we have an initial value of 8. Okay, let me say 4 here. Now, it will only compute this once. It will no longer track counter, so that when we update the counter, the value of this double counter will always be 4. It will no longer update as we increment the value of the counter here. So you see the value of the counter, the initial is 4. Then the double of it was computed once, which is 8. But after that, it will no longer recompute because it no longer tracks the counter. So when we increment the counter, it will no longer increment or update itself. So this is the end of this video lesson. I hope you learned how to use the Untracked API to access a signal value without creating a dependency between two signals. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you. Bye.